Welcome back to another episode of Amazing Kitchen. Today we're going to do pasta. So my friend Rachel, if you're watching, this is credit to you. So she gave me some nice chorizo. I believe this is a Spanish chorizo. Okay, so I'm gonna make a pasta with this chorizo right now. All right, if that sounds good, then stay tuned and continue watching. Okay, let's start with cutting this. Now, some like to remove the sheet. I kind of like to remove this outer layer, but this is all personal. I mean, some likes to keep it on for more texture. I like to remove it. Then I like to cut this in smaller chunks, maybe just random cubes, or small slices and chunks. Then we're gonna make a very tasty pasta with this. So good sized chunks, so when you're eating this pasta, you have a nice mouthful of texture. All right, so that's that, and then let me cut this one up also. All right, now that's cut. Let's set that aside. Then for this dish, we'll need a little bit of garlic. So don't need so much, maybe half a clove, well, half a bulb, I should say, should be sufficient. Set those aside. So then we can peel all of this. Yep, there you go. Just comes off the sheet. So for this, I just need to roughly dice it. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. Yeah, just roughly dice it because this will all go in together with the pasta and everything as one pot. So if you enjoy those one pot dishes, now this is the one for you. So it's very simple, and we don't need to keep washing and changing pots. We keep everything into one. All right, let me set that aside. So that's the garlic. Now we have the onion. We need some onion to give it a nice flavor. And when you cook onion for long enough, it sort of caramelizes, and it gives off this nice sweet taste, which balances the acidity in the tomato we're planning to use for this dish. All right, our onion is nice and clean, so we just cut it in half. Then we'll just dice this. So this one don't need to be very precise. We just roughly give it a nice big cut because it will all get cooked down together with the pasta and everything. Okay, so that's it. We have our onion cut, our garlic is ready. So let me go through a little bit of the ingredients we'll be using today. So I have some mushroom here. Here you can pick up in your local grocery store. Typically you see this with Asian dishes, so I'm gonna use this for our pasta dish today. Then I have some beef broth that I made ahead of time, so I will be adding this to it as well because we will be cooking the pasta together with our ingredients. Today I'm using nocetti. Nocetti is sort of like a smaller version of gnocchi, but without the potato part. So some recipe has a little bit of potato in it. This one don't have, I don't think it does. It's the shape that we want that is able to keep the sauce in every bite. That's why we chose this type of pasta. All right, then we're gonna cut some tomato. So for this dish, because we have quite a lot of chorizo, let's cut about maybe 5 to 7 medium-sized tomato. And then with this, we'll make our sauce with it. So we'll cook it down, and it's all fresh. So we don't need to get it out of a can somewhere. So again, same, we just rough dice this. This don't need to be anything fancy. We just need to get it small enough so that when we're cooking it inside the pot, it will get reduced nicely. So that's one. I'm gonna use about 5, maybe I'll use 7, because we have quite a lot of pasta here also. So we want a nice tasty sauce that is fresh and yummy. It's nice and ripe. You want to get some nice ripe tomatoes so that it's nice and juicy, so it makes a very good sauce. Now this chopping board is spilling over with ingredients all over. All right, so now we need to put this all to cook. So now let's move to our stove. Let's get our cooking pan. So we need a nice round deep dish one to hold all these ingredients together. All right, let's get it. Okay, now let's add a little bit of oil to this. Give it a nice swirl. Now we can add our garlic in first. All right, our onion is nice and browning. Now we can add our chorizo to this whole mix. Let's add the garlic to it as well. All right. All right, looks how beautiful this is. The oil is coming out of the chorizo. Only if you can smell this. The onion is caramelizing beautifully. The garlic is releasing its flavor. All right, so now it's time for our mushroom. All right, let that cook a bit. Now is the time when we can give it a little seasoning. Some black pepper, fresh grounded. Make sure you don't get those pre-grounded ones. This one has a lot more flavor. All right. Also a little bit of basil to add some of the flavor to that. And a little bit of oregano also. Let's give this all a mix. This is coming together nicely. It's beautiful. All right, I think it's ready for the tomato. I like to make a well in the center and add our tomato in. Let's mix this up. This is why I say you need a nice deep dish pot. If you have a casserole pot, it will do just fine. We cover this and let the tomato reduce and cook for about 10-15 minutes. Let's cover this and get back to it. It's ready now. Let's take a look. Whew. Let's look at this. It's sizzling nicely. The tomato has been reduced and cooked down. Now this is very rich and nice. All right, our sauce is ready. Now let's get our pasta ready. All right, box of nocetti, and also some fresh chopped cilantro or parsley. So we're just gonna add this to the dish also. Great, so here we go. Ooh, it's a bit full. I should have started with a bigger pot, but that's okay. Our spices, then our broth. You need to add liquid so that the pasta can be cooked, or else you will have one big mush and it's not going to be nice. Remember, up until this point, I haven't added any salt to this as yet. because the broth may contain a little bit of sodium. So we want to adjust that at the end. Okay, let's bring this back to a boil. Look at this. This is beautiful. If you can smell the flavor of this, this is just absolutely amazing. You know, smell the tomato, the fresh herbs. That chorizo flavor is coming through all of this. All right, let's give this a couple minutes. We cover it, turn it back on low. Okay, let's check on this now. Ooh, it has reduced nicely. And yes, the sauce has thickened up. Pasta is ready. Okay. Now the final thing to do here is give it a quick taste. Make sure the salt, everything is right. Let's get one of these. Just a little bit more black pepper. I think the salt is fine. We don't need to add any at all. Just nice and fresh. Right, now let's serve some in our bowl. All right, let's go. Ooh, look at this. Let's get some of that chorizo. Where's that? That mushroom right there. Now pasta is ready. Let's get some fresh herbs to add over this. All right. Give this a nice fine cut. Oh yeah. So let's go. We need some Parmesan. Get a nice Parmesan if you have. There we go. Now let's give this a try. Ooh. Nocini is just the right texture, al dente. Now let's give this chorizo a taste. So much flavor. I don't want to stop. With some of that mushroom. Fresh chopped herb. Wow. You know, if you never had a dish like this, this is something to try. So simple. One pot. You don't need to wash so many dishes, you know. You cook everything, you toss everything in, you add your stock. Oh, it's all ready to go. Sorry. If you like a little chili, add some fresh grounded chili powder or the dry chili flakes over the top. That's all. In fact, that's what I need. There we go. Spanish chorizo has so much flavor. That sweet paprika taste. This one is not the spicy one. This is the sweet one. So it's very mild, but it packs so much flavor in the chorizo. And making a pasta with it is just absolutely amazing because it lends a lot of its flavor into the pasta and into that stock. And then now all of this is reduced into one tasty, hearty pot of pasta. And nothing needed. No water added because you don't want to reduce the flavor. So all of what you need is already in this dish. Simple and straightforward. It's so nice. All right, well, that's about it. So if you like what you saw today, let me know in the comments below if you've ever tried chorizo in the past. I know there's Mexican and then there's Spanish and then there's Italian sausage, but they're slightly different in its own ways. So let me know if you tried this Spanish chorizo in the past and let me know what you think of this dish. Okay, well, make sure you like and comment and hit the bell button. Make sure you hit the all so that every time we upload and we have any sort of new live event, you'll be notified. Okay, So I guess that's about it. Let us know in the comment what else you'd like to see on this show, but there are a lot of new and good content coming up. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.